to the family, friends, associates of Brother William Thomas, on behalf of the Bethel AME Church family, I offer sincere and heartfelt sympathy and condolence. As has been said, Brother Thomas is in the lineage of the beginning of this church. On the second Saturday of each month, today, we would normally have had a new members class. And as part of every new members class, as the history of this church, we talk about its formation, about Brother Merritt Thomas, and how they came from Camp Hamilton as freed slaves and formed this church. And so, as we continue through our over 150 years of legacy, the Thomas name will never be forgotten. The Thomas name will never be forgotten. As has been said also, Brother Thomas had a presence that was unmistakable. It was staunch, firm, something that we today, as we try to emulate and mentor and be role models for our young men, I realize that some of our older men need mentors and role models too. Brother Thomas certainly could have been one of those. Every time I saw him, he looked me straight in the face, gave me a firm handshake. How are you doing? Doing good. And that never changed, and until his last days. Actually, the last time I did go see Brother Thomas was Saturday afternoon before he went to be with the Lord. And as I sat in the room with him, he was asleep. And I didn't bother to wake him, but I just sat there and had an opportunity just to think about the life of that great man. To imagine what it might have been like for Merritt Thomas and others who formed this church when they were under the weight of burdens of slavery. And how did they deal with that? One of the ways they dealt with it is they prayed. They prayed for us. They prayed for you. The descendants of Merritt Thomas. They prayed for you. That, Lord, please don't let my children and grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren have to endure the things that we had. And also, as part of their means to deal with the rigors of slavery, they sang. They used their songs to help ease the burdens that they had to bear. So when you talk about Brother Merritt Thomas and as he sang and he enjoyed singing and he used songs to convey his feelings, I believe somewhere down in his DNA, the thoughts and feelings of Merritt Thomas are still being expressed. So again, as I sat there with him and I see him, when we see him in Bethel Church, his presence represented that. His presence represented strength, endurance, perseverance. And so we'll never forget that presence. And I pray that you, as descendants of Merritt Thomas, will carry that heritage with pride. And never let it be forgotten. As long as Bethel AME Church, Hampton, Virginia exists, that the Thomas name will be a part of us. We will never forget that. We cannot forget that. It will always be a part of the history of this church. And as I said last Saturday, I sat there by the bedside of Brother Thomas and said a word of prayer and departed. But there are very few times I've ever had an opportunity to be with Brother Thomas that he didn't sing a song for me. And I can imagine if he had had an opportunity, if his strength had been with him on Saturday, he might have sang something like this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the